And joining me right now is head football coach Roy Don Richards. How you doing, Roy?
Oh, doing great. I can't believe it's this time of year again.
You know what? You're smiling. We haven't even started talking and you're smiling because it is this time of year. And he smiles as he hands me his football roster also. Now, let me look at this. Do you guys just run out of numbers at 74? You don't have any guys in the 80s or 90s or what?
Right. We just kind of cut it off there and just tell everybody if they want to wear 80 or 90, they got to transfer someplace else.
Good. But I really wanted to be 88. What was Lynn Swan? Was he 88?
88.
88, yeah. Lynn Swan. I want to be Lynn Swan. Well, too bad. Go to Hammond High. I'm looking at your roster here, Coach, and it goes up to 74, but some of the numbers are doubled up. Do you have 74 guys out?
Yes. Yeah, we have. It's an unbelievable year for us. Usually we're around the high 50s, and we've had 60s all summer, and that's why I keep giving you updated rosters. We're at 74 kids right now.
74 kids.
We don't have 74 jerseys, but we do have 74 kids. That's why some kids are doubled up, and we're actually going to have a travel roster and a dress roster, and I'm sure the bigger schools are laughing, saying they do that all the time, but this hasn't happened here, so we're kind of excited.
And that's 74 kids in 10 through 12.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I absolutely love it. You know, I was really kind of puzzled a year ago after winning our first sectional. I thought, man, our numbers are going to skyrocket, and they didn't. They didn't even go up. And I realized, well, maybe kids today just realize it's hard work, and only the hard workers come out. And maybe that's still true, but we've had 65, 70, now 74 kids that are willing to work hard and show up every day, and we're just.
All right, let's talk about some of your personnel. Let's start with the offensive line. Now, you lost the big guy,
Darius Taylor.
Darius Taylor. Where did he go? Did he go to play somewhere?
College of DuPage.
College of COD. That's right. And COD is a big feeder for some of the larger schools.
Absolutely.
So that's a good fit.
It's a great fit.
It's very very competitive football out there. So you lost Darius Taylor. He kind of anchored that. So who do you have across the front?
Well, the good thing is, you know, we had Esker Peoples and Darius as seniors last year, but the next best six guys were all underclassmen. And so what you've got now is you've got those six guys stepping in where three of them were starters and the other three rolled in. So we've got a very experienced offensive line led by senior Robert Hayes. He's the only senior on the offensive line.
So Robert Hayes,
right?
And you know what?
He's number 72.
72. I've got now. Actually, there's so many people playing for Morton. There's two 72s.
Right.
So we're going to give him 72A.
Okay.
All right. Robert Hayes at 6'3", 285-pound senior. All right. Give me some of the other names of some of the other kids that are competing on the O-line.
Alfredo Gutierrez, number 50, is a returning starting offensive guard.
Okay.
And Seth Miller, number 54, is a returning starting center. So we've got three guys, our right tackle, right guard, and center, that all started and played next to each other last year, and they're all back.
And what are you looking at on the left side?
On the left side is Sebastian Navarro, number 50-something.
You don't need to give me his numbers. I'll figure that one out.
Sure. And then Alfredo Valencia, I think he's 57. He's our left tackle. Now, both of those kids rolled in frequently last year, so it's not like they're lacking any experience, and they're certainly not lacking size and strength. This is a big physical offensive line.
This is a big line, and I'm gonna go right through what we had. All right, Gutierrez at 6'2", 235.
Right.
Seth Miller at 6'0", 250. Valencia 6'2", 240. Navarro's at 6'0", 250, and Robert Hayes at 6'3", 285.
Right.
Is this your biggest O-line ever?
Yeah, across the board. And they're not sloppy big. They're big. These guys aren't dumpy. They all can run. And Curtis Freeman is the first guy to go in, and he's, I think, the same thing. I think he's about 6'1", 250. And he's an athletic kid. So those guys, we do a lot of pulling and trapping and pass blocking, and our linemen can't be slugs. They can't have heavy feet. They've got to be able to be athletes and move, and those six guys can, and it's very impressive. Our offensive practices have been.
Let's go to it, as is always the case. The phones light up. Hey, Ralph, you're on the air.
Hey, Coach, just calling to see how that kid's doing that was injured, I guess, a week or two back.
I
read in the Hammond Times.
Yeah, I appreciate that. He's getting a lot better. I think lots of prayers and positive thoughts. The family keeps in touch with me, and we've been able to go up and visit him, and he's just got so many friends. I think everybody's going up and visit him. He's getting a lot better, and we look forward to a full recovery. So thank you, Ralph, for thinking of him.
That's Jeff Wozniak?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, he's a 5'11", 150-pound quarterback free safety, and he was injured in practice, correct?
Right, that is correct.
And that had to be a pretty scary time.
It was real scary. Anytime one of your players gets hurt, you feel bad. You look over and you see the look on everybody's face. Their friend is down, even if it's a knee tear, something. It makes you feel bad, and then when you have to obviously have ambulance or come in, then you get really worried. But he's got a great family, lots of friends, lots of prayers. So things are looking really good, and we're really excited to have him back at school real soon.
And he is still up in Chicago in the hospital, that's correct?
Right.
Okay.
In fact, I tell you what, the family's staying at the Ronald McDonald, and if anybody's ever thought of the Ronald McDonald House, if anybody's ever thought of contributing to that, and they see that little box and they say, nah, trust me, that's something that's outstanding. It's really helping a lot of families. It gives them a chance to stay there rather than having to drive 40 miles home every night, come back to the hospital just to hang out with their son or daughter. It gives them a chance to stay there at that home. And they really treat the families great. So anybody out there that sees those little boxes and thinks twice about it, throw a quarter in there. It does an unbelievable thing for a lot of people.
Roy Richards in the house, 219-845-1100. If you want to talk to him, get it in right now. DFH, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Jen. Hey, Coach. Hey, thanks for the excitement last year, Coach. Being a Morton grad and a transplanted Hesselite, you gave us a big thrill, and I can't tell you how appreciative I was of the program you put together. I'm not going to ask you who's your biggest competition because, I mean, just listening to you, you had the philosophy that anyone can beat you at any given time, and I think that's the way to be. It keeps the edge of the knife a lot sharper when you think that way. My question is, what do you, your personal comments about the new turf? Because I just delivered a bunch of product to Chesterton. Chesterton's converting. More and more schools are converting to this artificial turf. And I'm going to hang up and listen. Your pros and cons about it.
Well, first I want to say thank you very much.
Sure.
The kids have worked extremely hard, and not only are we proud to have you watch us and be proud of it, but we certainly respect the fact that you're out there and you're supporting everybody. So thank you very much. The turf thing to me is a win-win. I know John Snyder personally, and I know he's excited about it. In fact, I saw him 2 nights ago, and he said, hey, they're laying it down now. And Mark Hoffman and I are talking to him about the process. And I tell you, you don't get any bad practices. If it rains tonight, everybody who's on grass either has to be in a muddy practice field or be inside. And we can be on the turf so the ball gets wet, but you have good footing. You have a lot of good stuff going on. We have had very few injuries. As the year goes on, it gets colder. When kids get slammed to the ground, that's really difficult on their body, and we haven't had that because the turf doesn't get hard. It's been a great playing surface. It allows us to have soccer games, freshman football, varsity football. At the end of the year, you have quality competition because the field's in good shape. So many of the playoff draws depend on not who you play, but where. Because some teams just have a bad field, and if you play them in October, November, the footing is going to be so terrible that everything you've put into your offense is pretty much mute at that point because the field is not playable, and it turns it into a very slow game. So every team out there that has it absolutely loves it, not just for the Friday nights, but for the preparation, the practice, and the quality of play each week because the field stays in such great shape.
Talking to Roy Richards, head football coach at Morton High. Coach, what's it like right now? You got 74 kids out playing football in Hammond. It seems like there's a lot of pride around the program. I mean, what's the energy like?
It's fantastic, Jim. It's fantastic. Our practices are spirited. The numbers allow us to tell a kid if he doesn't get the job done, he's got someone standing right behind him that wants his position. It allows us to divide the field in half and scrimmage on one side with the younger guys while we're coaching the older guys on the other side with the responsibilities for Friday night's game. You don't have kids standing around because there aren't enough to to put in a second unit, so the second unit has to stand and watch and roll in a little bit. We have second unit on the one side of the field, first unit on the other. You've got 45, 50 kids playing, running, executing a play at the same time, and it keeps the coaches involved. Never before have we had this much going on. Just excited about it.
Let's talk about your coaches. Just throw out a few names. I know you got a ton of them.
Well, we do, and the good thing about it is we kind of share things. We have a lot of guys that are lay coaches that have jobs that come when they can and divide up segments. So we've got a couple of O-line coaches, a couple of D-line coaches. The biggest thing is this year we're without Tom Zambala, who has been there for 40 years and really helped mold what we are today, and he's there on a limited basis because he's teaching math, and it's just getting pretty difficult with all the constraints they're putting on the math teachers and all the extra duties that these teachers are having to go through. So AJ Rodriguez has assumed the defensive coordinator position. He's outstanding, former head coach at East Chicago, played on the team when I was coaching over there. Great guy. So he's running the defense, and he's got Darnell Walker, Dave Cisak. We were very fortunate that Gary didn't understand what they had in Alex Pratt, let him go, and Henry Johnson, one of his top assistants, came over and joined us. So we have a tremendous defensive staff. And on offense, two former players, Jimmy McCormick and Jeremy DeRolf, that are coaching the offensive line. And Jawan Turner, him and I don't know why they're letting him coach with us, but he's an awesome guy, great athlete. He's coaching the receivers here at Morton High School, and we've had noticeable improvement already. So I love our staff. Tom Kajawa is running with the kickers like he did last year, and our freshman staff, Robert Hall. As long as Robert's with us, we know our feeder program is going to be outstanding.
219-845-1100. Hey, Janet, how are you?
Good morning. Fine, and you?
Okay.
Good. I just wanted to thank Coach Richards for his dedication not only to his team but the community. You teach these young men how to be good men and how to contribute to the community. Every year, well, for the past 2 years, and we will again this year, invite the team to the meeting of Edison Community Watch in December. It's a treat for me to introduce you and the young men to our neighborhood so everyone can see how very generous you are. And you stay for the whole meeting. You know, sometimes we invite guests and they leave after they say their spiel, and you and the guys stay for the whole meeting, and we really appreciate everything that you do.
No, thank you, Janet. I tell you what, it's certainly a treat and a pleasure and an honor to be invited. You're such a good person, and if anybody's ever gone to those and they wait and they listen to those little kids sing, I don't know how anybody could leave early and not want to stay to the end just in case they come back for a last encore.
Right.
But thank you for your comments.
Well, thank you for everything that you do.
Well, thank you. My mom and my wife would kill me if I conducted it any other way. So our kids are great kids, and they're up for helping anybody, and that's really what makes me so proud to be at Morton. So thank you, Janet.
Roy Richards in the house. You're going to do the 5 words this year?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we talked about it yesterday as a department, and we're starting it up on Monday. So we start school the following week. So we thought we'd get Monday going with the 5 words to get those guys going so that when we start school the next week, they're ready for it again. So here we go.
If you guys remember that, we were doing that last year, and we'll work something out again this year where some of the players come in and they highlight the 5 words. Perhaps some of you other schools or other teams might want to start picking up on this and maybe use the same 5 words. I'm sure Roy would be wide open to that.